Monday morning, May 13th. I'm on my way back to work. Post-surgery. Got 2 big knots on my knee. I haven't been doing my PT faithfully. It hurts. But I don't know. I guess it's the right time for me to get back to work because I'm going crazy. Or I was especially feeling like I was going crazy last night and this morning. So yesterday was Mother's Day. And I made sure that the boys knew we were all going to church with Mom. It's been a while since we've been to church together. That's the sort of thing that mothers like. So we went to and visited the Calvary Chapel. Jessica said she didn't really care where we went, so we went to Calvary Chapel. And I don't know, I liked it. The boys seemed to like it. Ryan said he would go back. But then because it was Mother's Day, we went to the grocery store afterwards and we got fixings for cheeseburgers, pasta salad, and, you know, just a good solid lunch. I had in mind it for me and Jessica to go out in the afternoon or in the evening, but, you know, for dinner, but we were too full afterwards. But it was a nice meal. I cooked, Ryan cooked. We made the whole kitchen a greasy mess. And then he had an essay to write, so I said, well, you go work on your essay. I'll clean up. And then in the course of human events, he never started on the essay. In fact, he came out last night expressing frustration that he's not moving as fast as he wanted to on getting a driver's license. And not getting practice in. So we were like talking about it, and we're like, okay, we understand this. We need to come up with a plan to do it more. But the thing was, you know, I was trying to explain to him that there's other metrics that matter. That there's maturity issues that for me need to be observable before. Like, for example, he could take his brother in the car somewhere, or before he could drive one of our vehicles alone, even if it's legal for him to do so. And, of course, that set him off. And some of the things that I was trying to explain to him was things like, you know, you need to he's working, but one of the things that he's doing, and I don't know why, is he's cash apping money to friends of his. So I'm like, is this kid on drugs? Or I don't think he is, but, you know, he's going to a Christian school. But he's cash apping money to different friends, $10 here, $10 there. And he's been working, but he's had the same amount in his bank account for months, about $250. And so one of the things I was telling him, I was like, you need to start saving some money, get some money socked away, which his brother did. You know, his brother had in 2 years of working, had socked away about $11,000 and was able to get a decent vehicle and pay his insurance and everything. But right away, he started pushing back. You know, well, why do I have to do that? And I'm like, because we've only got 2 vehicles, me and Mom. You know, I'm in Greensboro, away from Winston-Salem for almost 11 hours a day. Maybe just a little over that, counting the commute. And, you know, Mom's running around the taxi service. And so eventually he's going to need his own car if he wants to get around. And if he wants to be independent and shoot hoops and go here and there and everywhere. But he just started to get upset about this, you know. And emotionally angry. And this is the thing, like, this is what concerns me about him, is ever since he was a toddler, ever since he learned to speak, first off, he was a long time learning to use words. He just didn't naturally learn words the way the rest of the kids did. But he doesn't use words to express his feelings. He just explodes. He explodes in anger. And I don't know what to do about it. I think he has an appointment on the 31st to see a psychiatrist, actually. Him and his brother for different reasons. But I don't know if he needs anger management classes or what, could be done differently. I just know that he doesn't express things. He doesn't talk about his feelings at all. And that's not the story in our household. That's not a cultural thing in terms of our family. Because we do, Jessica and I and the boys, and the girls, everybody, we've tried to enable that and try to help our kids be emotionally aware, in dealing with feelings. But for some reason, and it's not a new thing, it's just he's always been this way. And I have concerns for him, because if he can't figure out how to like, for example, so yesterday he got mad, even though I was working extra, cleaning the kitchen and trying to make sure, and we had to talk about it before he was mad. We had to talk, him and me and his mother, about finishing this essay. That's what we want to see. We want you to finish this essay today. He had already waited. It was Sunday, so it's due the next day, and he had just procrastinated, and he didn't do that. Instead, he came out and started a family fight, and upset me. And what upset me even more is that Catherine said, she had to make a comment because she can't stay in her lane either, doesn't understand boundaries. She said, "You're being too strict to me." Well, that set me off, because she knows nothing. I have been the one that's taught all of our kids to drive except for her, because she left. She went to Washington. So I never put the finishing touches on her or observed her, and she's also the only kid of mine that's totaled a vehicle. I taught drivers to drive trucks while I was at Pepsi. You have to be hyper vigilant if you teach someone to drive. You have to see the dangers that they can't see until you're confident that they can see them. So that's what I was trying to explain to Ryan. Part of the issue is we need to know, part of the maturity factor is we need to know that you can see these things, that you can identify hazards and take action on them, rather than, so like one time we were almost T-boned at a stop, or other times he'll turn on his turn signal and just turn without looking to see if there's a vehicle in the other lane. And I told him, 100%, if you have that practice, you're going to have an accident. There's just no way around it. If you make turns without looking, it's just a matter of time. And so these are the factors. So my daughter she thinks she's an adult, or I don't know if they think they're peers of ours, or I don't know what these kids think, but they're crazy. It's insane. They don't know anything, but yet they want to stand up and create this kind of alliance against Dad. And that's what upsets me. I've often wondered if I just needed to slap them, like give them something to talk to a therapist about. I don't know. Because why aren't they afraid to act so ignorant and stupid, like I would have been towards my dad? So I'm like, what's happened here? How have I created these people that are irresponsible? And also, it's like we're supposed to go to Bonnaroo in a month. Me and Jessica have sacrificed intensely to open up the finances for me to take the kids to Bonnaroo. Bought tickets for Rebecca and Rick. between Catherine and Ryan and me. Jessica didn't really want to go, but she was going to take Winston and the dogs and everyone and hang out in Tennessee. And as I think about Bonnaroo, I'm not even looking forward to it because of this sort of stuff, this sort of disrespect and lack of appreciation. And so he apparently stayed up all night. I don't know if he wrote the essay or not, but he, as of when I left at 7 o'clock, he wasn't even up and ready to go to school. And yeah, and so he's demonstrating exactly what I'm talking to him about. The maturity thing, it matters. It matters that you handle things. I don't want you driving my car if you can't handle your own business. And I don't know. I don't understand why kids just think they have a right to everything. And it upsets me that, kind of behind the scenes, my adult daughter that's living at home is undermining the stuff that me and her mother are saying. And I don't know what to do about any of it. I just want to run for the hills, I tried to do things to make Mother's Day nice for Jessica. And I don't feel, it came up yesterday, we were talking, how I feel the feelings that I feel more intensely than other people. That's something I learned about myself in therapy. Stuff that really bothers me doesn't bother other people. And Jessica asked, well, is that true on the good side of things? In terms of joy and happiness and stuff? I was I think the last time I was happy was when I was at Firefly in 2019, almost 5 years ago. And since then, I've had a broken leg and multiple injuries, multiple jobs, and over 2 years of therapy now. Lost relationships with my kids and just and with church. Just so much has happened in the last 5 years, 3 years. And I haven't felt good about it. And it doesn't, I even thinking, do I want to hang out with my family? Well, the answer is no. If they want to fight and they want to be disrespectful, no, I don't want to hang out with them. I mean, is there any other answer? And if I try to, say, hey, what the deuce? This ain't right. I'll just get pushed back. It won't change anything. And there's a part of me that wonders, and it's probably not good to lay blame, but I do wonder, where did this come from? Why is it this way? Is it just peers, my kids' peers? Or could it have something to do with the fact that my wife demonstrated the behavior that my kids are now showing me before they were, when they were in their formative years? Either way, what can I do? My life is basically just trying to put one foot in front of another, asking God for the clarifying vision, but it just feels like whatever I can do is going to be outside the house, because I'm not welcome inside the house. my leadership and my, come on, truck, my talents, my experience, the wisdom that I've lived, the knowledge that I have, those things are not valued at home. So, anyways, kind of a rough way to start going back to work, but I'm trying to get myself in the mindset of seeing people. Should have a pretty busy day. And we'll see what transpires later.